All right, so hello everyone. Glad you are here. We are christening the new education center, we're going to call it, here in the new Chantilly office, so we are thrilled to be here with you all. So today's class, the topic is going to be talking about how to be a vendor at a trade show. So that is what we're going to be hitting today. So let's go ahead and go through the basics. First off, I always want to thank Cardinal Title. They are the ones that are supporting and sponsoring all these classes. So the next time you have an opportunity to use Cardinal to say thank you for the training that they're providing, go ahead and use them and let them know that I sent you. So again, thank you to Cardinal Title for always supporting all the great stuff to help our agents grow and be strong. So with that, let's go ahead and get through a couple quick suggestions. First off, the handout will be available in the Cardinal Nest. I know that the staff had been in a meeting, so I don't know if it's up yet, but by the time you watch this on replay, it should be there. So if you are here in class with me, you've got this already. So we want to have it customized out, one for each class. If this is your first class, let me say welcome, but also let me say this may be a little like, what? And that's okay. We before going live on air, we talked about Jumpstart. So hopefully you have all gone through Jumpstart, session 1, 2, 3, and 4. Within session 4, we talk about the pillars or the tires that you need to have in the marketing department of your business to sustain you and to keep you going. So this is just one of the options, but I will also tell you most of these options are not a one and done. I don't care if it's the home buyer workshop. I don't care if it's for sale by owners. I don't care if it's doing trade shows. It is not a one and done. It is, you're going to commit to it and build it out. So we're going to talk about what to do and what not to do as we move along. So again, just a reminder, if you haven't gone through Jumpstart sessions 1, 2, 3, and 4, I would encourage you to do so. This is a spin-off of session 4 of Jumpstart. Okay, so there you got it. And of course, we have all of our pages coinciding with the pages of your handout. So the little number at the bottom of the corner is showing you what page we're on, just in case you get off track. So here's some classroom rules for everybody. Obviously, we want to make sure your phones are on silent and or off. Make sure your watches are off as well, because if not, you know me, I will answer them. And you don't want that happening. So I want you to be open to some new ideas. I want you to be ready to say, hey, I didn't think about that. I never thought about that. So that may be something you want to consider. Also, I'm going to ask, as I always do, may I have your permission to be blunt and honest with you? Yes. Tell you what you need to know, not always what you don't want to know. Give me a thumbs up. Yes, we got them. All right. Hear my heart, forgive my mouth, because you know what? I just know it comes from the heart. You do have to laugh at my stupid jokes. There you go. All right. I'm hoping that at the end you have learned something new. So at the end, we are going to ask, what is your aha? What is your takeaway? And I was sharing off screen that after training now over 4,000 agents, I've learned a thing or two early on. And I found that agents would go to training and events going, wow, that was great. That was wonderful. But they never implemented anything they learned. And that's not what I want you guys to do. I want you to sit back, go, that was good. I like that. Re-listen to the video, the replay on things. Really study it, master it, and then enjoy the benefits that will come from it. So implement what you've learned. Easy as that. Boom, we're going to move on. Okay, quick reminder, every Thursday I do a virtual Q&A session from 11 to 12. The link is on the calendar on Cardinal Nest. It's on the calendar and the link there. Just click on it. It'll bring you right in at 11 o'clock and we get started right on time. So as always, I like to have a word of wisdom, which is on the front page of your handout today. And I loved this one. Opportunity is missed by most people because it's dressed in overalls and looks like work. Now, Thomas Edison said that, not me, but I'll just pretend like I did, because I knew Thomas, because I'm that old. No, I'm not. Anyway, when I saw this one, I thought, okay, this was a good one. Everyone wants to reap the benefits of their business, but not everyone's wanting to do the work that it's going to take. So I'm here to bust your bubbles, and you know what? It is work. But once you put the work in up front, and then have it on maintenance, it's a whole lot easier. So don't miss the opportunities. Okay, so you ready for some tips? All right, so we're going to jump right in. And again, this is a spin-off of in building out or deciding what your pillars you want them to be for the marketing department within your real estate business. So the first one we're going to chat about briefly is RV shows. And you may go, RV shows? Yep, because a lot of times they will sell a house, buy an RV at the price point of $100,000, $200,000, or $300,000, and they will live in that RV and travel the country. I know families have done it. I know, seniors have done it when they've retired, and they just would travel the country and visit everyone and family and turn around and travel back the other direction. So RV shows, don't overlook those. Now, obviously, you're going to have to do some research to find them, but we're going to hit that in a second. So RV shows are one option. Another option is home and garden shows. Okay? Why? Because if they're investing in their home or their yards, they may be thinking of, okay, well, do we want to just foo-foo it up and then sell it, depending on what the market's doing? Or do we just need to do some major improvements and sell it down the road? Or they may look at what it's going to cost them to do the foo-fooing up and go, you know what, let's just sell the sucker and let's move on to, and buy what we want. So don't overlook the home and garden shows. That is an option. Local fairs and street fairs, okay? Especially if you are already doing some geo-farming as one of your pillars or want to be known or better recognized in the community in which you serve, find out where there's local street fairs or vendor fairs and find out if you can get a booth or a table on them. All right, so again, those are another popular one to do, especially in support of geo-farming. All right, the last one we're going to hit is bridal shows. Bridal shows, bridal bazaar, bridal fair, whatever you want to call it. It's a bridal show. Okay, and we're going to save that one to the very, very end because there's some uniqueness about that we're going to hit. And I did those for years, and I'll tell you about that when we get to it. So those are typically the ones that are on the radar. What's that?
Like a
Government contractor, open house type thing?
We did one for Micron.
Mm-hmm.
And we got like 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay, very good. So the comment was if you have a large company that is doing a employment, push, and you can get your foot in the door, bingo. Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so those are the typical standard. Again, creativity kick in, and I can always add more to this. So let's move on. Where to find them? Obviously, you're going to do some Googling. You may step back and think, okay, did I hear about this on the radio? Did they have this last year? And you can Google them and research them. Now, for the RV show, find out who the local RV dealer is that has the high-end stuff, or even the Airstreams. Call them and ask them if they have any that you would like to be included or be considered, to get a booth the following year. Same thing with home and garden shows, same thing with local fairs or street fairs. Just find out, again, sometimes it's just a couple quick phone calls to find out who you've got to maneuver to get to it, because we've got such a large footprint of areas and states. I just wanted to give you the generic of where to go and where to go find them, because they'll obviously vary from area to area. And bridal bazaars are the same. So again, we're going to talk about that specifically as we get down the list to it. So here's the main thing I want to start with. The mindset for the show. They are not looking for you. They don't care that there's a real estate agent there. They're not going, oh honey, let's go to the home and garden show because I bet we can find a real estate agent there. No, you are a secondary byproduct or bonus of being there. But they are not coming thinking that they're going to find a real estate agent. All right, so get your head on straight, get that out of your head, and know that the benefit of it though is you've got people that you can nurture down the road. All right, so just know they're not coming looking for you. You're just a bonus of what's going to be there. So pricing for booths. Pricing for booths at shows, because again, they've got to pay the overhead, especially if it's an expo center or whatever, can be several $100s up to $1,000 or more. Now, you need to sit back and realize, again, this is not for, these are not going to be for everyone because there is some expense that's going to go with them. But when we explain this all out, it may give you the leverage to say, you know what, it's worth it, and here's why. Okay, so just know that pricing can vary from obviously area to area and venue to venue. So obviously that is one thing you're going to need to ask is about the pricing for the booth. And obviously once you find it, they'll tell you that right up front as well. So the location of the booth. So let's say you've decided, yes, you're going to do this home and garden show, and the location of the booth is going to be a big deal. Now, you're the newbie, you're the new kid on the block. You will probably be given, more than likely, whichever booth is available. Once you decide that you're going to be a regular there, they may give you the opportunity to use the same booth space again, or they will let you choose another open slot based off what they know is open, and then you can lock it in. Now, here's the logic that goes with this. The venues are set up with the booths going one of two different directions. So when you walk in whichever door, they're either going this way in front of you or they're going left to right, okay? 80% of the population is right-handed. So they're going to walk in the door and automatically turn to the right and start zigzagging the booths that way. And if it's straight ahead, again, they're just going to come in and go straight ahead. Whenever possible, you want to find, again, depending on how it's laid out, and again, the venue will probably be able to show you how the booths are laid out. You want to find a booth that is near the beginning of the venue. Because by the time they get to the end, their brain is mush, their brain is on sensory overload, their feet are killing them, and they just want to get the heck out of there after they can find the beer garden to have a drink, okay? So whenever you can get a booth closer to the beginning of the flow, the better off you're going to be. So there you have it. So we're going to talk about the setup of the booth as well. Again, the location and the flow is going to be important, and again, you can find out ahead of time how the tables are set up. So when you think about, okay, so you've picked your venue, you've got the date, time, you got all the information that you need. You're going to take a look at how you're going to display your table. Do not overload it with stuff. Again, so many of the other venues and vendors are just going to have everything under the sun. And it goes on sensory overload. People will actually, and I did this for years, the Bridal Bazaar, people would actually step into our booth area and just kind of be calm for a minute. And we started hearing more and more with, oh my God, your place is like, a nice gentle place to stop in for a second, because everybody else had colors and bells and whistles and da-da-da-da-da going. And so you want to keep it, gentle and soft, okay? So we want to talk a little bit about the placement of the table within your booth. So this greenish, grayish, whatever, let's pretend that's the booth. And again, the vendor will tell you how much it is. You need to find out, one of the questions you need to ask is, do you get one table or two? And if you need to bring your own, and again, sometimes they say, no, we give you the booth, you got to bring your own. Others will say, no, we give you a booth, the table, one table, and two chairs. So you just kind of need to know what they're going to provide. If at all possible, you can do an L-shaped table layout. Because again, you want to bring people into the space, because if they're just sitting, standing on the aisle, they can't get in and talk to you. So an L shape will bring them in if at all possible. You do not want to have it at the front, because again, as people are walking by, you can only get one or two there to talk to, and then it becomes congested and you start missing people. All right? So you do not want to have it just up in front of the booth. Now, if you have a booth and the space will allow and you've got the tables to do it, you can do a U shape in there. So Here's ultimately how a U shape would be set up. Let me explain what these little X's and O's and arrows are. So when you think about people walking by, the main display, the center and the back, is where you want whatever it's going to be your eye catcher. Now, when I did the bridal bazaar, I had a dollhouse. It was a Victorian looking dollhouse. Yes, my sister put it together for me and painted it. And I used that thing for years because that was our eye catcher. And across the pickets across the top, we had a banner that said, when you get carried over the threshold, will it be to your new home? And then I found the cake top of the bride and groom, her being lifted up, and it was the perfect size. And so that was what we always had in the center. Now, we stayed away from some of the other stuff, which will, again, I'm just going to pause there because I want to make sure we talk about that separate. So the blue dots in the far back corners are also areas if you wanted to do one of the pull-up table displays to give some height to it, because again, if people are walking by, you want them to be able to see what's up. Now, the bigger ones that are floor to 6 foot tall really don't need those. They can get expensive, but you can do a tabletop one that's 3 or 4 feet, which again will give you some height for people walking by. They can catch it, and you just have those in the back. Now, the red X's is where we would have our stations for people to step in and sign up for the free drawing. Now, if we were doing a free drawing, obviously it would be on the signage and the blue on each side, so that would draw them in as well. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. So there would be the potential of having 4 in there at any point in time to sign up for the drawing. And typically we would be on the back side of the table, so we could talk to them across the table. Because if you're in the center congested area, it just gets congested. They assume that they don't recognize the fact that you're in charge of the booth, and so they see a couple of people in there, it looks crowded, they're just going to keep walking, okay? So when you have it set this way is kind of the optimum way to do it. And again, if you can find the narrower tables, they are perfect. So, all right, any questions, or we're going to come back to questions at the end, but is this making sense? Okay, I'm getting thumbs up. All right, good. All right, so determine what you want to hand out. So we always want to have something to give, to hand out. Depending on what the event is, would maybe determine what you would choose to give out. So here's a couple of ideas. First off, letter openers are one of the best. I would take these over a pen any day of the week, because 90% of the vendors out there are going to have pens. Do people ever look at them again? Nope, they use them, but they don't look at them. But these letter openers, again, I know you can't read it on there, are not that expensive, and there's multiple places to get them. In your handout, we actually talk about some of the, for imprint, pins.com, Amazon can get them, discount mugs, anypromo.com. This one was discount mugs, and again, it's a cute little house, and you got different color options if you want to brand it. So letter openers are always a great giveaway. People are still opening mail. And who's ever slipped their finger into a mail and slit it and got a paper cut and said bad words? Okay, so there you have it. So the letter openers are always a good one to use as well. Now, off to the side, there's also notepads. You can customize a notepad for the event. So let's say you're doing an RV show, and so just kind of be creative a little bit. And a question may be is, so are you ready to hit the road? Sell the house, hit the road, see the country. So you want to tie it into whatever that event is, right? And we'll come back to the bridal one here in a few minutes. Okay, so another thing that you've got available to you are free reports and newsletters. Now, if you've listened to the class that I've done of how to leverage the free reports, the newsletters, and your website, you're going to get shown 2 or 3 options for free newsletters. Frankly, I'd use those puppies till the cows come home. Samson has got a couple of really, really good ones, as long as you remember to take Donnie's picture off of them and put your own information in there. Another one of my oldies but goodies is through Old Republic. It's a homeware tea company. They have one. I've used that for years. And again, it's great. if that appeals to you and you don't have time to listen to the how to leverage the free reports, newsletters, and website, I can email you the directions how to get that set up. It takes you about 10 minutes to set it up the first time through. Once it's done, then when you go back in the next time to log in, click on Toolbox, click on the month, and have it go to print, it's less than 30 seconds. Do not tell me you do not have 30 seconds to produce a newsletter. And no, you should not be creating them yourself, okay? So those are things that you can have to hand out as well. Another one that is really good is calendars with either curb appeal or home maintenance tips. Now, and again, these came from Remark, and I've got it there on the side. It's reamark.com. If you are going to use something like that, I would encourage you to customize the business card that you'll put on those, because the top has a magnetic thing that you can peel off and stick your business card on. If you're going to do this, let me know, and I will walk you through and give you the tips on how to use and create a more effective business card instead of using your generic business card. Okay, again, you want to brand it to the particular stuff. So we have a visitor going to come in and photobomb me.
I'm photobombing. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good.
Oh,
how are we doing?
Good. It's always good to see you.
We're in our new studio here. Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Yeah.
Stephanie, how you guys doing? Oh, Laura. Laura's quieter today. Have you heard her screaming a lot on set?
Oh yeah. Been there, done that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This new studio is coming along. What do you guys think? Tomorrow we can be finished off. We got our salesman here. It's gonna be great.
Awesome.
You're doing great.
Thank you, sir.
Just wanted to pop in and say hello to everybody.
I'm glad you did.
Hi, everybody.
It's always good to see you, Donnie. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so, okay, I got to tell you a secret. I love it when Donnie pops in. And recently, where were we at? Oh, the awards thing. I got to meet, or see his dad again, and I got to meet Casey. I'm sorry. I was like, and I did tell him I was smitten with him. I said, before somebody absolutely has heard one of my other classes and comes back and tells you, I'm just going to tell you right up front. So, but it was nice. It's always fun to be able to meet them. But yeah, very, that was cool. All right, we love Donnie when he pops in. So again, when you're looking at either the RV, the home and garden, any of that, these are awesome to get. I don't care if it's June and July already. If you can still get your hands on these, get them. And again, if you're going to use them, let me know. I will give you the recommendations of what to put on the business card instead of your regular business card, because you want to link it to the venue, to the event, okay? All right, so those are one of my all-time favorites. And again, perfect for home and garden shows, okay? All right, so if you're going to do a drawing for either cold hard cash or a gift card, and gift cards could be, the Visa and the MasterCard gift cards. Heck, they can even be Wawa or Sheetz. Because what can they get there? Anything they want to drink, anything they want to eat, and gas. All right? So whatever you decide is within your budget to give, or give away special, that where it ties in. Now, you're going, dice or spinner, odd or even? What the heck is that? So let's say you have two items. Let's say you have a notepad and you have the letter opener, and let someone roll the dice. Odd number, they get this. Even number, they get this. Okay, and if they really want the other one, they'll keep rolling. Okay, you find out who the sharks are. So, but again, you can create it in any way you want. But that is one idea, because people think that maybe they have spinners. Not really. You can get a set of dice, or the big fluffy, big dice. At Dollar Tree sometimes has them, and I know you can get them on Amazon. And again, it gives that hands-on to roll and determine what prize they get. All right, an odd or an even. Yeah. So that's an idea to run with. All right, you can also have candy and mints at your booth. Again, but make sure it's individually wrapped, obviously. Even back then, way back when, I still always had hand sanitizer, at my booth. I'd usually have Kleenex as well. If somebody goes to sneeze, I, pop the Kleenex out, and they'd be like, wow, thank you. So again, candy and mints are okay. Just make sure, obviously, they're individually wrapped and easy accessible. So again, if you're going to do a drawing, you can do cash, you can do a gift card. Again, you don't have to do it. But again, it's that draw that gets them in to sign up. Now, you're thinking, okay, but how do I get their information? Oh, look, I got that for you even already. So the giveaway, the one that's on the screen right now is the one for the Bridal Bazaar. But you can also get them on Amazon. It's just like a little, postcard. Yeah, postcard size. And it says, good luck, enter to win, name, email, phone number, bing, bing, bing. There you go, you get 300 of them for $10. You can't print them for that. And again, enter to win. You can get 200 of them for $8.99 or 1,000 entry forms on notepads for $17, $18, and those are from Amazon. Okay? There are probably numerous other vendors that you can go as well. I just happened to be perusing and looking these up the other night, and I thought, you know what? That's perfect. Don't need to reinvent the wheel. Do not need to do them yourself. Okay? Bridal Bazaar, yes, you do need to do them yourself because there's specific information on there that you want. Now, you can customize them. Again, you probably could even get them done through the print center. Customize them with information about, are you considering, does your home still meet your needs? Are you considering selling in the next 3 to 6, 6 to 9, 9 to 12, later than that? So you can do that as well if that is something that you really want to do. So again, there's stuff available already, ready to go. You don't have to reinvent the wheel and you don't have to customize it, okay? Phew. Let's talk about signage. You want to, the main thing you want on your signage is you want to make sure that it ties into the event, the type of event that you're doing, okay? If you just blast out real estate office, people don't get it. They don't get the connection. Again, their feet are hurting. They're trying to figure out where the other, partner has roamed off to. So you need to have something that's going to grab them, pull them in. So home and garden show, does your home still meet your needs? Yes or no? Okay. Same thing with the RV. Are you ready to hit the road? So that would be one that you could run with as well. You can have the pull top table signs done. Another one that you can do is a table runner. Now I just ordered one. It was supposed to come in and it didn't, maybe it came in today. But of course I'm here today, so I don't have it. But it literally is a table runner that goes this way on the table. So the back side is plain, the top is plain, but what goes down in front is the design that I put on there and the saying that I put on there. Those are less expensive and serve the purpose. I wouldn't go a full tablecloth because you don't need them. Because a lot of times the venues are going to provide a basic tablecloth, and that's one of the questions obviously you'll ask as well. But the table runner with the design that goes down in front, they're literally, was it 3 feet wide? Are perfect, and they're less than $50. Okay, so there you go. That would be my recommendation, along with maybe 1 or 2, depending on pricing and what your budget is, the tabletop pull-up ones that hook, all right? Now, I talked about when we did the Bridal Bazaar, I had the dollhouse. If you can find a cute dollhouse, nothing wrong with that, okay? In fact, if you do an RV show, Barbie years ago came out with the RV. If you can find one, get one, because that would be cute on the table as well, all right? And yes, guys, you can still have a Barbie RV on the table if you want to. Oh, you're good, okay. He's got girls, he's good. So another one that I've seen done is birdhouses. And they just elevated them, okay? Are you ready to move up or down? And again, lots of cute birdhouses. They're easy to transport. They're relatively inexpensive. And with springtime popping right now, you can find them everywhere. So keep that as a thought as well if you're going to be doing any of these. So you want something that's cute and different that's going to catch the eye and draw them in. And of course, if you're going to be doing the drawing, you do want to say drawing for $200 in cold hard cash or gift card or whatever you're going to do. So that's going to draw them into your space as well. Whatever. It can be 100, it can be 50, it can be whatever allows. So again, so you're kind of following the setup and what works and what doesn't. Okay. All right. So here's one of the key questions you want to find out. Is you need to find out if you are able to get the mailing list of everyone who has signed up or bought tickets for the event.
Email or actual physical?
No, you get their phone number. Sometimes you'll get a physical address, and oftentimes the email address is part of it as well. Okay? So that is critical. That is a key question you absolutely want to make sure that you ask is, will there be a mailing list available to you after the event? Now, sometimes they will tell you, yes, it's included in the price. Sometimes they will tell you it's available and it may be a small $25 or $50 fee. Get it. Get it. So, and I'm going to explain why in a second. But you do want to make sure, because again, you're only going to be able to talk to so many, and there's a whole bunch of others that are going to walk by that you're going to miss. So you still want to be able to capture or get their information if at all possible. Okay? So here are some warnings of what not to do. Do not make it look like a real estate office. Okay? Do not have it overcrowded. Do not necessarily have your laptop up. Now, here's why. Some of the booths or some of the venues will charge you extra to have access to an electrical outlet. And if your booth is not near an outlet, they've got to run the cords and yada, 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 yada. Do not assume that there is an electric outlet available to you. That is one of those things that you're going to need to ask, and if it is there an additional charge? Again, because a lot of these are in, like the conference centers or the expo centers. There's not outlets every other foot. So find out if that's going to be a critical part that you absolutely have to have outlet to run your laptop. Find out if there's an outlet that's going to be available. Okay. So you do not want to have it too much, because again, most of the booths are going to be too much, and people's brain just go into meltdown. Okay, believe it or not, we talk about kids having ADD. Guess what? Adults have ADD as well. And when all that stimulus stuff is going on and lights flashing and music blaring and blah 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 blah, after a few minutes, their brain just goes, "I'm done." So you want to keep it as gentle as possible, but yet still tying into what you're promoting, what you're trying to do. Another thing I want to remind you not to do, this doesn't go for the guys necessarily, but ladies, please do not wear stilettos. Nope. You are going to be standing on your feet for 6 to 8 hours or whatever the length of the time is. That includes walking in, setting up, standing the entire time. You do not get to sit down. And then the cleanup and then get out of there. Trust me, you wear these, your feet are going to hate you for the rest of your life. So wear comfy shoes. Obviously, make sure your clothes is comfortable as well, because you don't want jewelry or sleeves or stuffing, getting in everybody's way as they're trying to fill out their forms. You want to make sure that you bring water with you to stay hydrated. Depending on the number of hours of the event, I would encourage you to have 2 people in at a shift. If it's 6 hours and you want to divide it up, 2 of you are going to do 3 hours and the other 2 are going to do the other 3 hours, you can do that as well. Okay, especially on the bigger venues. The benefit of that is when 2 of you are working the tables, the other 2 of you can go off and talk to the other exhibitors. Because don't they live somewhere? Don't they maybe have a roof over their head? Is it possible that that other vendor there too is thinking the home doesn't meet my needs anymore because I've got all this extra equipment now that I need to store at my house? So we used to make a point of getting to know the other vendors at the expos that we did, and got business from them occasionally as well. Okay, so don't overlook that networking part. of the component. So again, you want to make sure that you're cool and comfortable. It's either freezing cold or hotter than you know what in there. Okay. When they start a venue, they will always start it as cold as they can get it. Because the reason for that is once people start coming in, the temperature will increase in the room approximately 1 degree for every 10 to 20 people that are in there. So if they start off the room at a comfortable temperature and all these people come in there, all it's going to do is get hotter, and there is no AC that's going to bring it on down. So they'll start it colder, and then as the day goes, it comes up to comfortable level, and then by the end of the day, you're like ready to take, sweaters and shawls off and get me out of there. Okay, so be cognizant of that and make sure that you're dressing appropriately, as well as staying hydrated as well. That's why I say it's always good to have 2 people there, because if somebody does need to have a snack break or a restroom break, you never want to leave your booth empty, because you're missing hundreds of people potentially walking by. Okay, so you've gotten through the event. Now the follow-up. It is, in these type of events, it is all about the follow-up. If you are not going to set up a follow-up system afterwards, then give me the list, because I'll follow up. Okay? You can go do it. Give me the list and I'll follow up. Okay? Truly, it is all about the follow-up afterwards, because they may not be thinking at that moment that they want to sell the house. They may not be thinking the house no longer meets our needs. But here's the trick on the follow-up. You ready? Do not follow up with them the first week after the event, because every other vendor there is bombarding them with follow-up information. You step back, you take a breath, and let the dust settle for a week. Because again, I'm going to bet you a few bucks, there's not another real estate agent there. So you've got kind of a, you got a niche in there. But if it's, let's say it's a pool company, they're going to land-based everybody, because it's top of mind, summer's coming, they want to get it in. If it's any other, again, depending on what time of the year it is, whatever the season that's coming, there are certain vendors that are going to take advantage of that as well. So you want to make sure that you kind of let their email box breathe for a second and wait at least a week until you start following up afterwards. Okay? We learned that from some of the brides. I'll tell you that. All right. So the follow-up after the event. Now the beauty is, how long do you think that list you can nurture and build out? Forever. Yep. There's no deadline on that list. Now, some have said, which I went, that's a good point. We can either go and buy a Zillow leads for, I'm just going to make up a number, so don't shoot me, $2,500 on 1,000 leads. They're an inquiry. There's somebody drunk at 2 o'clock in the morning that didn't know what else to do and was playing on their phone, all right? Or you can go to a specific event who has a target audience with a common theme about them. Yes, it may cost you some money. As long as you're able to get that list afterwards, you now have a targeted audience. And as long as you're getting the right message to the right target on a repeat, then you are golden. Okay, I'm seeing some heads nod. Okay, awesome. Okay, so again, the follow-up after an event is absolutely critical and priceless. So, deep breath. We're going to talk about bridal bazaars specifically. So, I'm going to jump back through and again, go through the list of things that you do need to do with the bridal bazaar spin to it. I don't care if it's a bridal show, bridal fair, bridal bazaar, bridal whatever, it's still the same thing. All right. They are often twice a year. Sometimes they're 3 times a year. Yes, they have the big ones in DC and Maryland, and every other state and county has them. Richmond has one. I know that there's big bridal bazaars.
There's a lot of them right here at the Dallas Expo Center. It's literally like right here.
The Expo Center, absolutely. Now, here's
All the time.
here's the other thing to consider. Find out if there are any local venues in your area that do smaller weddings and receptions there. There's a place that pops to mind that's down in the Fredericksburg area called Stevenson Ridge. They have a beautiful facility. It is very country-esque looking, and they do their own bridal shows. So check around even at some of the hotels that have, large venues that would house it. Do a little creative thinking, think outside the box, and track them down. Because I'll tell you what, I'm going to lay you odds. Most of the time, there's not going to be a real estate representative there. So there's a golden market there as well. All right, so where to find them? Obviously, just Google them. If you are listening to the radio and you hear one being advertised, even if it's a week or two away, if you think you could do it on that short of a notice, find out if you can get, come down. Now, I'll tell you secrets. So a lot of times if you contact them and it's coming up, say, I can't commit into this one, but I'd love to come see it because I'd love to commit in and do the next one. A lot of times they will issue you a complimentary pass. So you can go check it out. And you can eat cake samples until you blow up. But what a way to go, okay? Again, comfy shoes, because your feet are gonna hurt. All right, so, but search around, Google online, pay attention to ads, check your local expo centers, check any of the hotels that have, wedding venues. All you gotta do is put wedding venues in your area, and you're gonna come up with a list of places, okay? And some of the smaller ones, again, yes, there's not gonna be thousands of people there, but you have more of an opportunity to talk to more people on a one-on-one, and it's going to cost a lot less. So there you go. All right. Mindset, once again, they are not coming to find you. So get that out of your head. Do not think that you're going to have someone come up and go, oh, good, I'm glad you're here. I want to buy a house. Don't have your lender there. And that was the other thing I wanted to mention of the what not to do. You want to make sure that you read specifically every single thing they give you in terms of the rules and regulations, whether there is or isn't electrical provided. A lot of them do not allow you to share a booth with another vendor. So be careful. And I've seen booths get shut down and they were asked to leave because they were there with a secondary vendor. Okay? Usually it's a bozo no. But do not think for 1 second that you want to have the lender there because you think someone's going to come up and then want to get qualified. Trust me. After doing about 20 of these, doesn't happen. All right. So the same thing, you want to price out the booth. You want to find out where the booth location is. Now, on a bridal bazaar specifically, if the booth is in the back by the stage, just know that you are out of commission during the time that the fashion shows are going on, because the music is blaring, the fashion show is going on. Yes, there's still a few people walking the floor, but the majority of them are back there, and that's your time to take a quick break. So you don't want to be in the back by the stage if you can avoid it. When you look at the booth's availability, you do not want to be next to a DJ. Okay? Trust me on that one. You can be across from one if you had to. Again, they all have regulations of how loud their music can be. But if they're next to you, forget it. Not good booth placement. So see if there's another booth spot available to you. But next to them, you'll have a headache by 5 minutes after the event starts. All right. Again, look at how the flow is going. If you walk in, if it's up and down or if it's left to right. Again, 80% to 90% of people are right-handed. They're going to go to their right automatically and then zigzag through. So you want to get it as close to the entrance as possible, because by the time they get halfway through, literally their senses and their brain is on overload and it's ready to explode. So keep that in mind as well. So the booth location is going to be important as well. The booth setup, again, we kind of talked about the best, the good, better, best options from the previous slides. The same thing. You want people to be able to step into your booth and have a conversation with you in there. Now, on the setup and your displays, don't have big floral arrangements. You're not a florist. If they see a big floral arrangement, they're going to assume you're a florist. If you have a cake for a quote cute display, no, they're going to assume that they're going to ask for a bite out of it. Okay. If you got balloons all over the place, they're going to look like, you're going to look like you decorate for the event. Okay. So you want to be very careful with how your booth looks. So, especially on a bridal bazaar. So those are some do's and don'ts on that. Handouts. Oh, my favorite of all favorites. We did notepads. And on the top of the notepad, it said, wedding planning to-do list, AKA honey-do list. At the bottom, we put, when you get carried over the threshold, will it be to your new home? And then small print, we'd have our contact information down there. Now, we would not we'd have our name, the company, because you had to have that on there. But we would have basically an email address, or when we got our website up, we just had our website address on there. Because if they go to your website, they can get everything they need. Now, if you don't have your website set up with a custom page for the event, then you may want to get that done before going to the event. Okay, because if they come to your website, obviously your email's on there, your phone number's on there, but you also want to have a special page with information for them as well. Now, the handouts was the honey-do list and the wedding planning to-do list. So how we handled those was the wedding planning to-do list. We would catch them and say, hey, you're going to need this. Trust me. I've done this a few times. You're going to need this. When you find a vendor that you really, really like and think you want to remember and reconnect with, jot them down. Because trust me, when you leave here, you're going to have a bag full of stuff and you're not going to remember who you talked to. So jot it down. And then if the soon-to-be husband was there as well, well, she is signing up for the drawing, I'd go, okay, so this is the honey-do list. This is the keep you out of the doghouse list. And they would always giggle. I said, because trust me, at some point she's going to go, honey, I need you to do something for me. And you're going to go, okay. And then she's going to tell you, and then you're going to forget, and then you're going to be in the doghouse. Don't let that happen. And they're giggling. So here's your honey-do list. So when she says, honey, I need you to do something for me, go, wait, Lynn said I had to pull my list out. Hold on. And they would go get the list and write on it. Okay? Yes, fun. Yes, funny. But whose name's on every page of those? Mine. Okay? Now, while they were filling out their entry, because we would do cold hard cash, and then we have the pictures in the booth off to the side of the previous winners holding their cold hard cash. And so while they're filling out the form, we're checking out the rings. Because there's not a bride-to-be that doesn't want to show off the ring. And some of them are great. They're beautiful. They're all sparkly. There's not all dish soap and baby goopers in them yet. So they're nice and sparkly, and they're happy to show them off. And then, of course, then you can make some fun crack about, did you pick it out or did he pick it out? And no, he did. Dang, you did good. Okay, we got to see some of the most beautiful family heirlooms that were accumulated and put together. There was one I will never forget. The stone in the middle was the stone that he bought. On one side was a stone from his mother's and his grandmother's wedding ring. On the other side was a stone from her mother and her grandmother's wedding ring. And then they would just have the wedding band going to go on it. It was gorgeous. But the story that went with it was amazing. And so again, when you're going to do the bridal bazaars, definitely get into conversation over the rings. Okay, because you're going to get some great stories. Then once they leave, you can put you can put a little note on the entry form or whatever to just kind of joggle your brain and remind yourself, because again, you're going to speak to several hundred, so you're going to forget. So let me flip back in my slides real quick and bring up this. There you go. All right, so this is the entry form that we used for the bridal bazaar. Obviously, it was customized, so it's got their name, and we would just, regular paper, we would, print them, so they would do 2 up, print them and cut them in half. The wedding date, obviously the address, the city, state, zip, home number, cell number, email address, but the information at the bottom was important. Are you interested in knowing more about buying or selling in this real estate market? They could tell me yes or no. I don't care. It lets you know who to sort through. Are you currently renting, currently a homeowner, or living with parents? And then are you planning or even thinking about selling or buying in the next 1 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 9, 9 to 12, other months out? And then I would tell them that, obviously the printing at the bottom said the form must be completely filled out to be a valid entry. Do not need to be present to win. Winner will be notified. Good luck. Okay, so we would get all the information. Here's what the fallout was of doing bridal bazaars. That at first we didn't see coming, and then after doing one that we were so tired and punchy, and we were going through these, then we started thinking, yeah, okay, if he's got a house, she may not want to live in his house. So now we have to sell this one to buy one for them. If they both have one from previous lives, then you got to sell both of them to buy them one together. Then since divorces are typically over 50% on a first marriage, 70% on second marriages, you got the one you got to sell, and then you got 2 buys coming out of it. So, or they start with their first home, the family starts to grow, they need something bigger, and now they need to sell this one in order to buy something bigger. We started seeing all of those happen within a few months. Okay, so again, there is a fallout that we didn't see coming when we first started this. Okay, all right, so let me quickly jump back to where we left off. Again, the signage, the warnings are the same. Don't wear those shoes. They're cute, but don't be wearing those. The follow-up afterwards, again, is just as critical and even more so. Where to find them, we talked about that, the mindset, pricing the booth, the location, the setup, the displays of what to do and not to do, the handouts, and then again, we did a drawing for cold hard cash. There wasn't a bride on the planet that couldn't use cold hard cash. A lot of times the other venues would have a drawing, but it would be for their product or service, and if the bride-to-be wasn't interested in that, then they lost it. So cold hard cash speaks to everyone. Signage, again, the signage that we used to use was when you get carried over the threshold, will it be to your new home? And so we actually had a banner made, table runner that would go down the front with that on it. And we'd have a sign in the back that would say that as well. Because that's the punchline. When you get carried over the threshold, will it be to your new home? There you go. So, list of attendees. Obviously, you want to make sure, and typically in bridal bazaars, you can get the list of everyone who attended. Even though you may only talk to a small percentage of them, you will get the list afterwards. Again, we talked again about the do's and don'ts. Basically, you want to make sure you're comfortable shoes. You've got a couple of you doing this together. Be sure of electrical. Be sure that, if you are doing multiple people doing the bazaar, here's what we used to do. We used to take the sign-up sheet, and you would do it in one color, and this group would do it in another color. So when your shift was done, we'd leave them in the container, but we would take your color away, bring out the next color. Nobody would ever know the difference. We knew. So when we divided them up afterwards, obviously it was real easy to do it that way. Now we did it one time with a little logo on it, it was still, they were all white and still had to go through them. But when we did a pastel, it just made it a whole lot easier to divide them out. So that was an extra little bonus tip in there as well. After the event is where you are golden. Think about all the vendors that are at a bridal bazaar. You've got your cakes, your photographers, your venues, your honeymoon places, you know, all that kind of stuff. Those are all time sensitive. They're going to attack everyone that attended that bridal bazaar immediately. So their emails are going to blow up. And how we learned this is Carolyn and I got invited to come back. They'd brought in about 20 brides from a recent event, and it was kind of a Q&A. So they were on the panel, and we got to ask questions, and they got to ask questions of us and have a great conversation. One of the things they said was they remembered Carolyn and I not blowing their emails up until they didn't hear from us until a week or two later, which was good because if not, it's going to get lost in their email box. Now, some of the brides have actually gotten clever in time, and they would actually set up a wedding email with his name, her name, or whatever, and use that just for the wedding planning. So all the vendors who are on time sensitive, you know, they have to get them booked, they would bombard the email addresses from the very beginning. We got to hold out a week or two and then started the follow-up after it. Because again, they're not coming to find a real estate agent. They're coming to find ideas for cakes or ideas for decorating or a venue or a honeymoon option, or you are the last thing on the list. Now, there was one, I will tell you some fun stories. We had one time that the market was good, and the dad says, okay, honey, got an option for you. I'm going to give you X amount of dollars, it was a good amount, to either blow on a one-day party, or you can take that amount, put part of it on a down payment on a house, use the other to blow off on the party, and I said, or you have the wedding and the reception at the new house, and all that extra money gets to go into the landscaping and bringing in the tent if you need it out back, or the chairs or whatever. And she goes, oh, what a good idea. Dad looks at me, gives me a wink. I said, something to consider, isn't it? She goes, yeah, it is. Guess what? They bought. And they had the wedding and the reception at the house, and yes, we got invited. Okay, so yeah, of course I went. Of course I went. Yeah. So Carolyn and I both went. So that was kind of fun and funny. You also, again, you oftentimes have the bridal party there as well. Again, birds of a feather flock together. They're all in that age bracket, and they're all thinking, I'm not going to live in his place. I'm not going to live in her place, or they want to get their own. All right. So you've got the potential of the bridal party as well. We even had one where Dad came up to us, as the girls filling out the paperwork for the drawing, and he goes, maybe we need to talk to you. He says, once she gets married, I don't need the big house anymore. I went, okay, want me to follow up with you? He goes, yeah, would you? So I got his information on an entry form and, special note on it and stuck it in. I said, in case you win, I'll put it in there for you. But we followed up with him, and sure enough, about a year later, after the girl had gotten married, they went ahead and sold the house. We got the listing. And then some of the couples that we helped in the very beginning bought, a small condo or a small place, and then when it didn't work out, we got called to sell it when they were getting a divorce. There were a couple that they got married, they bought a condo, and they said they were going to be there 2-3 years is what they anticipated. They were going to start the family right away because they were older, and so they wanted to get the family going and knew that someday, they were going to want a house. And so I get a message one day as it was coming from the 2-year-old that says, Mom said that I was to call you or get a hold, I think it was an email. Mom said I was to get a hold of you because you said that when I got a puppy, you would get us a bigger house and I would have a yard for the puppy. I said, yeah, I'm thinking, oh my God, you got it. So I got a hold of her, and sure enough, we sold the condo, got a house with the yard so he could get the puppy. And his housewarming present was, because I'd already talked to Mom and knew the dog was coming, got him a basket with all the dog toys and stuff in it. Okay. And so, yeah, we have fun. He also, too, I taught him how to slap water puddles and send water flying all over the place. It was fun. He is now 16, 6'2". I'm still in touch with them today. They now live in another state, and I still get a Christmas card from them every year with the pictures of the boys. So, again, the follow-up on these are endless possibilities because there's not a cutoff time frame on them. Yes, you may find some that are immediate, but you've got long-term reach as well, where 6 months after that bridal bazaar, most of those vendors can do nothing with that list but throw it away. In our position, we get to keep it, incorporate it into our databases, and build it out for years. There you go. That was a Okay, so again, one other thing that we did that was fun and funny was, in certain cultures, it is customary that the father of the bride pays for everything. And oftentimes they're very proud of that. So I had seen these years ago. I got them for a friend. He absolutely loved them. And we created them. They were just little business cards. And on the one side it says, I'm the father of the bride. And on the back side it said, I'm the father of the bride. I'm only the father of the bride. No one is paying much attention to me today, but I reassure you that my bank and credit cards are paying close attention to my whereabouts. Enjoy your day. The couple that we used to do these, and we put them in little packs of 10 with a little bow on them, and we'd hand them out to certain people that we knew fell into that category, or there was comment made that we could provide them as an extra little gift. And one of the gals called me one day. She goes, I gave them to my dad at the bridal shower. He loved them. Can I buy some more? And I said, I'll get them for you, absolutely. So we made them up, got them over to him. He was like on cloud 9. We got invited to the wedding. So yes, we went, and we just sat back and watched Dad hand those out to everybody. And it was the hoot of the party. So again, just kind of that fun little think outside the box. It does the trick. Okay, so that is the nuts and bolts, if you will, of doing the trade shows, the bridal shows. Again, all the trade shows are good. You just zero in on who is the target audience, what is the right message that's going to pertain to them, build it out, create it out, and if you need help, you know where you can find me. lhamilton@samsonproperties.net. I think that's it. Yeah, .net. Whatever it is. That's me. You know where you can find me. But again, you customize it to whatever that venue is, and you can absolutely run with it. So a couple quick reminders as we wrap down. I don't know how we're doing on time. But other classes, let me go back. On the handout that you've got on page 7, because this is a spin-off, if you will, of Jumpstart Session 4. Determining what your marketing pillars are going to be, and if doing vendor fairs is one that you want to do, obviously that's why this is here. But if I realize that a lot of agents aren't aware or familiar with some of the other classes that we've already done, have recorded, and are up on Samson University for you. So on page 7 of the handout, there's a list. There's about 20 of them. So obviously there's open houses, geofarming. If you don't know what to say when you start to talk to someone, a common mistake agents is like, I don't know what to say. I've got a whole scripts and conversation class. And guess what? Bonus coming up soon in 2 weeks. The best one-liners. Okay, that is going to be a good one. Have fun and create that wow factor. That is designed to help you build repeat and referral business. If you're wanting repeat and referral business, you absolutely want to go back and listen to the have fun and create the wow factor. Boom. How to leverage your free reports, your free newsletters, and your website. Yes, I said free. Y'all should have a budget for free. That class is available for you. If you want to build out from session 3 of Samson Jumpstart about the vendors, your service providers, there's a class on merging your reports and vendors for a tip of the month. Brilliant, if I do say so myself. If you're thinking, okay, but I don't even know how to do a buyer consultation or seller consultation, we got you. Buyer consultation is in 3 parts: the before, the during, and the after. The seller consultation is mainly the actual in front of them, because many of the pieces of the before and the after consultation apply to both the buyers and the seller side. All right, so buyer-seller consultations are available for you. If you're thinking, okay, I want to build my pillars out, I don't want the roller coaster ride, I want to do recession-proof marketing, boom, we got you. Okay, that is working with attorneys. That is not for the faint at heart. That is not for the ones without a backbone. Okay, because I give you the good, the bad, and the ugly of doing that. That is why I can say when the market went to its crash, I totally missed it. Now, yes, I have a small group that I'll probably be starting round 2 of. We meet once a week by a Zoom training that is working and building out the component to work with attorneys. If that is something you want in on for the next round, let me know. But you have to have completed Samson Jumpstart sessions 1, 2, 3, and 4, have identified that is one of the components you're going to do. Now, I did a one-on-one with a gal a couple months ago, and I was giving her the highlights. We're on Zoom. She looks at me, she goes, oh, I thought it would be easier than that. I'm just saying. It's work, people, but the payoff, gotcha. All right? Know your numbers. Okay, even though we talk about numbers that you need to track of your commissions and all, the budget and all that kind of stuff, we also talk how to determine other numbers and track other numbers that are going to be important to your business. Don't overlook that one. I do have one that's up for dual career. If you're a dual career agent and you happen to be catching this on play, I actually have a class up of what are the things you need to have as your priority for a dual career agent. And if you're looking at transitioning from your full-time job, retiring out and going into something else, going into real estate, don't start cold from the minute you retire. Let's get you going 3, 6, 9 months or 12 months ahead of time, get you a warm jump start and you're ready to go. All right, so that's out there for you too. How to build out a home buyer seminar. I've got 44 right now that have signed up and have committed or can be committed. Maybe I need to be committed. But if they raised their hand after seeing that class and said, yes, I will commit to, but here's the criteria. Again, I need you to go through Jumpstart sessions 1, 2, 3, and 4. I need you to identify that, yes, you are willing to do the work that it takes to do a home buyer seminar. There will be 8 weeks of a Zoom class with me. Each week has tasks that you need to build out and do. Okay? It's not recorded. It's not on replay. You miss it, you snooze, you lose. Okay, you may have to wait till the next time around. Then, once you've completed the 8 weeks, you are already ready to do an actual home buyer seminar. I've got a few of them that have already started them. Okay, and you will commit, again, it's not a one and done. You will commit to doing a home buyer seminar at least once a month for the next year. Okay, if you're willing to take that on and decide, yes, I want that to be one of my pillars, let me know. We'll get you into group 2. Best one-liners. That's coming up. Again, often we don't know what to say when there's conversation, text message, emails, etc. I'm going to give you the best one-liners. I'll have to find some jokes to go with it too. So, okay. And then also we have available common mistakes agents make. Now, there's a whole mini-series of their quick snippets of recorded sessions of common mistakes agents make. I'm actually expanding that to an entire class. Common mistakes that agents make and how Samson is helping agents to avoid those mistakes. So I have interviewed agents for years and years and years and years and years and would always ask them what was a common mistake. I compiled those all, grouped them, sorted them, and boom, there they were. So with that, those are other classes that are already available to you. I'm going to go ahead and ask you to always remember the sales meetings And if you can't, yes, if you can't attend them live, which you should at some point, make sure that you go back and listen to them. There's the meat and the potatoes in the middle, okay? Join in a mastermind class that David has. He's got those on the calendar as well. They are great and great conversations. He keeps you posted. Don't forget there's Coffee with Casey that's available. You can listen to those at any time. And then last but not least, we have Sarah's Tidbit Tuesday that comes out. And then boom, there you have it, mic drop. We are done. All right? Be the Uncola. Be the Uncola. Do not do what everybody else is doing. Think outside the box, and that is what's going to separate you from the crowd. I don't care what you know. I don't care how long you've been in. I don't care. Yes, I do. I don't care. Yes, I do. All right? I want to know what you're doing with what you know. Okay? So from that, we're going to get into our aha takeaway. We're going to start back here. I see we have our microphone ready. So Miss Katie, we will start with you, and then we'll just work our way. You have to share your aha takeaway and what your thoughts are. Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. Hava.
Having a daughter getting married soon,
Oh.
I think it's something to think about because we are going through all the process now, waiting for not respond immediately. But the problem is sometimes you need to put it on your calendar so you won't forget doing it. Mm-hmm. Because usually you intend to do it immediately.
Yeah. And we talk about that in Jumpstart Session 4. Once you've picked your pillars, how to map it out, how to put it on the calendar so it's on an autopilot. So good point, though.
And it goes well with the target that I'm thinking about, which is first-time home buyers. Yes. So it's tag along together.
Absolutely. Excellent. Thank you. All right, if you hand the mic to the other side, there we go.
Thanks. Great class.
You're welcome.
My aha is probably booth placement in in the venue and how to set your station up and not be cluttered or look like you're a different vendor than what you are.
Good point. Thank you.
My takeaway is the follow-up, wait a week. I thought that was brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, never thought at all that about a DJ or speakers. A stage could be literally just a killer for your entire day if they play the music loud enough. So that was definitely an aha, something I had not considered at all. I also never considered the electrical. I never thought about doing anything without my laptop. So that was a little mind-opening there.
Yep. Okay. Well, they're passing the mic back. Let me just share too. On the setup, they have to know how many electrical you have to prearrange because they need to know how many are going to be plugged in based off the wattage that they have available. And one thing that I will tell you, the fire marshal on all of these events, you will see in your instructions, you must be set up by, I'm just going to say if it starts at 10, you must be completely set up by 9:45 because the fire marshal comes in, does a walkthrough, and if anything's a problem, it gets corrected on the spot or they don't open. And that's why I say too, on your booth, don't even have a rug in there because if it's a tripping hazard, fire marshal will tell you to pull it. So, okay, thank you.
Very, very good class, actually. Yeah, all the details you have, like you made it very easy for us. I like how you said we should set up the table. Also, waiting a week to call everybody is just brilliant. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, because they're getting bombarded right up front. They just don't want it anymore. All right, my ladies in the back.
Okay. So we work together. We're both sisters. And the funny thing is about this weekend, I actually went to a party. Like, it was like a vendor booth thing. They were selling clothes, jewelry for like Ramadan's coming up. And I was like, let me just go check it out, not like a vendor. And that's the one thing I noticed, and I told her, I was like, I felt everybody that came in, they went to the right, and they were done. So the people on the far end, like where you are, so example, like there's vendors here, they went here, and by the time they went there was nothing there. So they basically were not doing any business.
Yep.
But I made small talk with people, and then there was this one vendor, she just came up to me. She's like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. You've given me so much business. Give me your business cards. I have people who
Nice.
need to buy. So she took my business card, and she actually introduced me to 2 more people who are looking to buy in the future. So that was like my aha moment over there.
There you
And
go.
here
Very
too.
good. Very good. Excellent. Excellent.
So, Lynn, I have watched a lot of your classes online on the dashboard, and I am in your home buyers seminar class too. Like, we are in it together.
Very
So
good.
everything that you say, it's funny, and yes, putting the pieces together, it comes to, like, oh my God, I didn't think of that, And like, we go through so many things every day, literally, but we don't put the connections together. So sometimes she says something, I'm like, wow, it's just something new, like you said so many things. So I've never been to an RV show, the bridal shows, or the home and garden shows. I'm seeing on my Facebook there's a home show going on somewhere, and I was like,
Yeah.
here? Oh, it's finished? Okay. So
But
yeah, I was
springtime,
like,
summertime, there's a bunch coming, and then the fall ones will start.
okay,
so,
and
yeah.
I was like, should we go and attend it, or but today I realized that we should be attending all of those things. So yeah, we will be doing that, and we will be definitely emailing you with our questions and everything that we need. Thank you so much for this.
Perfect.
I love your class.
Oh,
Thank you.
so much. Thank you so much. Well, as we wind it down, again, it's always great to hear, what aha takeaways you guys have. Again, it's all about putting our puzzle pieces together. And yes, I at least, don't knock the camera down, I at least have to throw a couple out. I'm getting pretty good at this. Well, kind of, sort of. But the point is, all of these pieces are pieces of your real estate business. And if you take this one, you're going, okay, this is cute, but where does it fit? Where does it go in? And you got this one, it's like, where does it fit? Where does it go in? But when you start understanding which way they pop together, you're going to go, oh, I get it now. And that's what it is. So think about the business as your puzzle pieces, and we're going to walk you through them and put them together piece by piece. With that, I'll say thanks for joining me today. I'll see you next time. Bye. Thank you. Awesome, awesome. Okay, now, all of you that are here, you need to come up here real quick. We're going to do a quick photo up here. This is our first in the...
I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
It's like with the community types of, there's a billion little communities that I know. Steph and I had talked about that. Is there a saturation point for realtors? Do we ask how many realtors are signed up? Oftentimes before I market somewhere, I'll say, okay, I'm happy to do your community, whatever. If there's 12 other realtors, I'm not sure that I'm going to do it.
But you can still stand out and be different. So that's
Absolutely.
not, yeah, you can
But is
ask.
there a saturation?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I did put this on tape.
Yeah.
Hey, Justin, can we take another 30 seconds of a quick thing and just tack it into the end? Okay. All right, because I got to tell you a great story. The shenanigans I used to do. Tell me when you're ready. This is a good one.
It's kind of cool. This is like it's the credits at the end.
Yeah.
of the movie, and then they go back to the main star.
Yeah. Okay, we ready? Okay. All right. So here's a great one I got to share with you. True confession. Enough time has passed. I'm 3,000 miles away, and I can now confess. All right. So when Carolyn and I used to do the bridal bazaars, we committed to all 4, which gave us a discount. We got our prime space and all that kind of stuff. Oftentimes there would be another real estate thing there. We would go over and talk to them. We would ask the question of, so how's it going? Yeah, it's tough. It's a lot of money to spend for, something that's not going to generate, immediate leads and stuff, because they're not here to find a real estate agent. And so we would wham, wham, wham. Are you going to come back again? Yeah, probably not. Me either. they wouldn't show up. We would.
Oh, you naughty.
I know, confession. All right, so it got to the point that we were the one that were known to be there. And oftentimes, believe it or not, we'd get somebody who would come and say, you were here when my da-da-da or my sister got married or whatever. I was so good, da-da-da. So it became kind of funny, but yeah, we would scare the other ones off by telling them that it was a waste of money. It was a lot of money to spend, and the brides weren't looking for that, you know, for a realtor, so they would never come back, and we dominated it. Just saying. There you go. All right, so enough time's passed, 3,000 miles away. I'll confess that one. So then we actually had because we were in San Diego, the gal that was in charge of ours also worked and helped the gal out of the LA one, which was much bigger. And she actually came down one day, and Rebecca brought her over to meet us to say, how do you guys, you know, just do this and dominate this? So we kind of shared her some of our secrets. But yeah, we also, I think, maybe told them that we also ran the other ones off, but didn't want that to be public knowledge. But now you know. There you go. All right, I'm done. Gotta go. Bye. All right.
Sorry, sometimes we're doing too much and we can't get up to you. It's okay.